Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Yogic Silence in a Transformative Field. This program, this reflective session, is hosted by the International Yoga Day Committee at the United Nations. I'm Gayatri Narayan, and I'm serving as the co-chair of the committee and a representative of the Brahma Kumaris at the UN in New York. These sessions that we hold once a month are designed to be reflective and contemplative, inviting us to step into the sweet spot of solitude inside of our souls. Yoga is a silence, but it is a silence in which there is union and there is connection. It is not a silence of void, of absence, of isolation. Rather, it is a silence that is dynamic. It is a dynamic field of presence in which the soul is in union and connection with the divine source. And in this sacred space of silence, which is we are calling yogic silence, consciousness is transformed. There are many entry points into this transformative field. And this evening, we will be on a sacred journey of love and conscience with sacred technology. And it is dedicated to Earth Day. We know that Earth Day will be celebrated on Saturday, April the 22nd. So love and conscience connected to Earth Day seems to hold a timely significance. Guiding us on this journey is Reverend Paul Luftenegger. Paul is a renowned international, I would say, celebrity. He's a singer, he's a songwriter, he's a composer, he's a teacher, and he's a reverend of global ministry. Paul promises a journey of music, of meditation, and yes, of magic. The magic that we will witness this evening emerges from the creative genius of Paul's soul. So through living, healing, and loving, his lyrics and his melodies are such that they serve to unite our hearts and our souls. I call Paul a soul master. Why? I say, Paul, you are a soul master whose creative genius connects other souls to their authentic self, and then gently invites them to be in union, in love and remembrance with the divine source, God. So I welcome you, Paul, who is currently in Bermuda. And when I think of the Caribbean, I think of three S's. I think of the sun, I think of the sea, and I think of the sand. And I could see you are enjoying that a lot. And so welcome, Paul. Please take us on this beautiful journey of meditation, music, and magic.
Well, thank you so much, Sister Gayatri, and everyone uniting together today. Thank you for being here. I can't thank you enough for uniting in this field of yogic silence and conscious, beautiful love. So I've made some notes and I'm going to take us on a journey today. And my goal in this is to offer in between the space of the inner technology, there dwells a wholeness within us. And the theme and topic today is holistic healing and well-being in yogic silence, as Sister Gayatri just beautifully shared. But more specifically tonight is love and conscience with our sacred technology. And I'd like you just to sit with those words for a moment and really just hear them again. Love and conscience with our sacred technology. And just feel the inside of you with those words. Just take a breath into them. Love and conscience with our sacred technology. And a question for me would be, what is that to you? What is that to you? What is your sacred technology? For me, my sacred technology is my heart and my soul with Source, with God. I use the word God, but that is what my sacred technology is. And my real goal today and my real intention today is to really zone in to that frequency that's within us collectively in this field. So, yogic silence, a transformational field, because in the sacred technology, we have a field that's actually now becoming focused with our sacred technology. And conscience is defined online as an inner feeling or voice viewed as acting as a guide to the rightness or wrongness of one's behavior. Today on the calendar of time is Tuesday, April the 18th. Let's be conscious of this day. 2023 is the year. That's the earth time. But in the timeless, peaceful, collective moment of space with the Holy Soul, the timelessness can be here with our sacred technology. So many months ago, I was asked by Sister Gayatri to be a part of this year's project of Yogic Silence, a project near and dear to her heart with the International Day of Yoga Committee at the UN. And when I was asked by Sister Gayatri, my soul instantly said yes without even thinking, and I knew it was to serve God. I love Sister Gayatri very, very much. I recognized Sister Gayatri's soul with God many, many years ago now when we first met on a mountaintop upon a 400-acre retreat center for the Brahma Kumari called Peace Village, located in the beautiful Catskill Mountains in New York State. Our souls met and knew something profound had happened on earth, and we have been dancing with God in our service ever since. A recognition, a rekindling, a flame of love, a passion of right, a healing for the world, an understanding of God, a life in devotion to God and to the heart and to the soul. All these years later, here we are in 2023 with God's pure love and conscience upon our hearts, together, uniting together with our precious, sacred, powerful, loving, kind souls uniting in this moment of ours. I always begin whenever I am asked to speak or to share something with God by looking out into the world's sea of life and noticing what is going on in the greater world that needs our awareness. Take a moment and just think of what that might be for you right now. What in this silence, in this field, in this collection of souls, what in this world needs your attention right now? And just give permission to yourself to send some love to that awareness. Just take a breath into that. For me, this week, sadly, an innocent 16-year-old child, a young boy named Ralph Yarrow, was shot by a man for going to the wrong house to pick up his two younger brothers to help his parents. Injured, shot by an elder. Race, in this case, from what I understand, is a factor. And with God witnessing this, I ask you, who shoots to kill a young 16-year-old boy for knocking on a wrong door by mistake? Is the soul present in the shooter? Is the heart in the shooter even alive in the shooter? I don't know the answer to these questions. And the questions I have regarding this are actually endless. These answers I don't understand, but my conscience knows it's wrong what happened. When a man in his 80s tries to kill a young boy, potentially robbing him of his incarnation on this precious earth we all share, I believe we, the souls, have a responsibility to notice and to take right action toward healing what we can in this fragmented reality of pain and wrong action. Ralph and this 80-year-old man is teaching us all something in our own lives. And the real question is, are we paying attention to it enough to make right what is wrong? To hold space for remedy and reason, and to hold space for conscience. My heart and soul prays and yearns for this precious, precious, beautiful child named Ralph Yarl to completely heal and recover fully from his horrendous gunshot injuries in the temple that houses his beautiful soul. Now, I ask you to pause in silence right now to unite with me in holding 1 minute of healing conscience in pure love, in peace for precious Ralph Yarl. So let's just, with our conscience right now, with our consciousness in this field, just take a few deep breaths until it feels right. And when you're ready, we'll just come back into this moment of collection together. Now, these past 3 years since the global pandemic, we have all experienced some version of trauma worldwide. Governments, politicians, doctors, neighbors, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, grandparents, and great-grandparents have all gone through something very challenging. We have bypassed a great deal of our normal town hall discussion and open dialogue. We have segregated people from one another, and we have done so, good, bad, or otherwise. We have witnessed shaming of those in fear. We have witnessed injuries of many lives on so many levels. The debate of vaccinated or unvaccinated. We have seen what fear can do when given power over the soul. We have done our best, but in our conscience, we have to remember that we must be mindful and responsible, careful for what we do with our lives, for the soul is responsible for the soul. So Sister Gayatri, in preparation for this call, shared with me some information about the Atma ball. She shared a reflection on the beautiful power of the soul, the sacred technology. She shared with me about the inner voice, and my heart lit up when she shared this. She shared with me about the spiritual laws of life, the contrast of choice and understanding, reason and conscience. The soul educates the being, she said, and a learning curve becomes known. The soul feels that learning curve. Experimenting to act in accordance, embedded in the soul for the soul to do what is right and to warn what is wrong. And if there isn't love, pure, pure, pure love in the underpinning, she explained that the soul will not be able to make the right decision. And so in this beautiful moment of togetherness, I actually feel that we've all made this beautiful right decision to be together. And that's very exciting to me. Me in Bermuda, I'm at the tip of the Bermuda Triangle right now. And I feel very elevated in knowing that I'm coming to from this beautiful paradise. And I'm going to share a piece of that with you tonight. And so for me, the following words come to my holy mind, my holy heart, and my holy soul with God immediately. And they become crystal clear in clarity, justice, nurture, nature, freedom, wisdom, accuracy, devotion, divinity, pureness, holiness, wellness, vibrancy and courageousness, sacredness, honoring, embodying pristine pureness and cleanliness. A vessel of the beloved, that for me is what we are when we calm ourselves into a state of presence with the beloved. Source, God, Creator, some people say the One, with the soul at peace with the beloved. This is a frequency. This is a vibration. This is a sacred connection of interbeingness, conscience, fully present from within our sacred technology with our source. The key for me is 100% responsibility of my soul for everything it is and with everything it chooses. This is not always easy, but doing right is important. Dr. Maya Angelou reminded me in 2011, the year of my father's suicide, to do right. She reminds us all that doing right might not be always profitable. Doing right might not always bring you acclaim or fame or popularity, but doing right will satisfy your soul, protecting you from what bodyguards cannot be bought for. Do right. We must all do right. We must reach and stretch ourselves. We must reach and stretch our rightness. We must reach and stretch our heart's loving energy to serve others in goodness. And tonight, my primary intention is to hold space for conscience with pure love as best I can in this collective uniting our sacred holy hearts and our sacred holy souls together, and to be grounded in the soul within ourselves. Ultimately, to sit in the conscience within the seat of our soul together. So just get comfortable in your seat and just feel that soul in the seat of yourself. For the soul is responsible for the service, to be in the service of God with what is right. I'd like to share a space of reflection on the following words by Meister Eckhart. I love this quote, it's one of my favorites. There's a place in your soul where you've never been wounded. And I'd like you to just sit with that for just a moment and take a breath in, and I'm going to read it again. There's a place in your soul where you've never been wounded. And what we're going to do is we're going to shift these words now into saying an affirmation with them for yourself. So I've switched this around to say, there is a place in my soul where I have never been wounded. And let's really feel the power of our soul saying that to ourselves. And I'd like you to just take a breath in as I read that again. There is a place in my soul where I have never been wounded. And perhaps you might want to just even say those words out loud in your room right now. There is a place in my soul where I have never been wounded. And I think and feel and know that when we have that soul identified or identity in presence with our conscience, in consciousness, something happens where we can actually even feel that sacred technology bloom in our body because it is healing itself. And so, what I've decided to do tonight with beautiful Sister Gayatri's guidance is I wanted to make a video from Bermuda. I will share with you in my own experience, I had a challenge during COVID. The lockdowns really affected me. I say this because I had thought that we were a little further ahead than we were in our awareness with, I think, just human beings being kind to one another. And I witnessed things that I've never seen before in my life. And so for me in this journey, I recognized and went back to my music. And I hadn't been back to Bermuda actually until recently. And when Sister Gayatri asked me to actually do this, I didn't know I was coming here. And so I decided in my own way to share a piece of my life and my soul in my healing of really just some video that I took from my iPhone. And I just took a journey of some Bermuda that I haven't seen for over 3 years and 3 months. We thought when we left here, right before the pandemic, I was going on tour. We thought that we would be leaving here for 3 months. It ended up being 3 years and 3 months. And so this was very healing for me. So I decided to document a journey with my music that I write for God. And I'm going to share that tonight with all of you. And it's magical for me. We go on walks here in Bermuda, and my spouse is from Bermuda. We've been together this year for 20 years. And Bermuda has a beautiful, beautiful nature that is some of the most stunning paradise I've seen in the world. So I'm going to start with a song that I love called As You Are. Now, I'd like you to think about that for a moment. As you are. What is as you are? And this beautiful song is a reflection of basically your life passing by. And I'd like you to just listen to the words as it plays and let it just fill you with that contemplation that these words will evoke with the nature. And it will start from Toronto when we left into the first walks in Bermuda when we were here. Here we go.
Out there in the middle of a sky, reflecting on a life that's passing by. Somewhere in the middle of it all, there is magic in this world. Oh, you are right, exactly where you're meant to be. Let your heart journey free. And in my life I've looked for all the answers to my problems. The funny thing I've come to learn, the answers to my problems were locked inside my heart, and the only key belonged to me. You hold the key to be free. Hold on to your dreams and live what you believe. Live the dreams you dream to be. And in this world where chaos stirs, find your silence within and open your heart. And look inside and see what's there. Dust off your pain, you know it's there. And your mornings will bring blessings for those who believe in the gifts. You've been blessed to live the gifts you bring. Your future's just begun. Your world's just arriving. Drink it in, let it flow. Drink it in, let it flow through every bone. You are loved as you are. You are loved exactly as you are.
Beautiful. And I have to say, the freesia and the loquats are what you're seeing on the screen. And we timed this ever so perfectly where the loquats were just blooming. And when you taste them, they taste like a burst of beautiful pineapple or sunshine, and the free to grow wild in the fields in Bermuda. And it's just stunning to be here. So it was very healing. So I chose the next song to sort of follow through with the beautiful day and focusing on the blessing of the brand new beautiful day we are given each day to live. The choice to choose and find and share the beauty of the day from the heart and soul. With the sunlight on your face and the wind at your back, and God, how good it feels to be alive from the soul. And so this next song is called Beautiful Day, and just take some time to honor the beautiful day that this is today.
Today's such a beautiful day. I'm feeling like a child again, with hope in my heart, joy in my soul. I'm free to fly again. Today's such a beautiful day. I'm feeling like a child again. I'm dreaming big dreams, hope in my heart. I'm free to live life again. Sunlight on my face, wind at my back. Sunlight on my face, wind at my back. God, it feels so good to be alive. Today's such a beautiful day. Everything's going my way. With joy in my heart, love in my soul, I'm free to fly again. Sunlight on my face, wind at my back. Sunlight on my face, wind at my back. God, it feels so good to be alive. Today's such a beautiful day. I'm feeling like a child again, with hope in my heart, joy in my soul. I'm free to fly again. Today's such a beautiful day. I'm feeling like a child again, with hope in my heart, joy in my soul. I'm free to fly again. Sunlight on my face, wind at my back. Sunlight on my face, wind at my back. God, it feels so good to be alive.
And so this beautiful white crane appeared on our walks, and we would go on these walks every day. We still do. And what I love about this white crane is wherever I'm going, this white crane seems to be. And this island is 21 square miles. And I don't think I've ever noticed there to be many white cranes here. So the fact that this one tends to go where we are, I find it fascinating. And I think that there's a sign in this beautiful white crane, and I wanted to make sure I put it in. So one of the things I just want to say out loud is that being free to fly is so beautiful. And I want to remind us of God's kindness. And this is something that has been a running mantra in my life right now, is that God is kind. And so I decided to put this in next is Do You Know? When I wrote this song a number of years ago, I really felt that I was meant to share the question and the statement of do you know? Do you know that God loves you so much that all of the stars shine just for you? And do you know that God loves you so much that God has made your soul eternal? And do you know that God loves you so much that your heart will always guide you home? And do you know that God loves you so much that God made only one you, a spark of all that is? So as you listen to this next song, let the words just really feel your soul and your sacred technology really connect with the inner space of your beauty to remember what you are.
Do you know that the stars shine just for you? And do you know that your soul is forever? And do you know that your heart will always guide you home? Because you are a spark of all that is and all that will ever be. Because you are a part of the great mystery, like the sun, the moon, and the stars above. You are made of love. Do you know there's a secret garden inside you? And do you know that the universe will always love you? And do you know you're a piece of heaven? Because you are a spark of all that is and all that will ever be. Because you are a part of the great mystery, like the sun, the moon, and the stars above. You are made of love. because you are a spark of all that is and all that will ever be. Because you are a part of the great mystery, like the sun, the moon, and the stars above. You are made of love.
And these beautiful blues in Bermuda, the colors of the water have healed me so much just by looking at them. I love the colors and the grades of different blue that exist. So I chose the next song to sort of end this series of songs and reflections and contemplations and beautiful nature shots with a song that I wrote a number of years ago called Dreaming Again. And so in this song, faith to dream our dreams to life is really the point. And dreams are visions, they are not illusions. Dreams for me are all that can be when you trust your heart and your soul to allow them to bloom. And so to open your heart and to share your love and your light with the world outwardly from the inward space to this, from the sacred garden within oneself to the outside world for others to experience. And the love that once dwelled within us can be felt by another soul. And so rolling down the windows is the idea of this song. And you know, when you take that drive after a long winter and it's warm enough where you can finally feel good about putting the windows down and letting that air in on you. That's the idea of this. So rolling your windows down and being the dreamer again. So giving yourself permission to dream your biggest dreams is the point of this song. And so unhiding yourself with the love that God made possible from within you as you. And so recognizing to become organically you, the soul. And so as we start this next song, those are the words and the contemplations.
The city lights are shining so bright tonight. There's change in the air again. I'm rolling my windows down again. There's love in the air again. Oh, I've been romanticizing again. Oh, I'm a dreamer, dreaming again. Oh, I've been hiding all I can, but I'm a dreamer, that's who I am. Organically, the summer times have come and gone so many times. Beauty remains in my heart. Oh, feel the wind upon your skin. There's magic and miracles again. Oh,
So just to tie this all together, I just want to say that love is in the air again, and the conscience and the consciousness knows this. And so I think ultimately we're reminded that we're all dreamers. That's who we are, and that nature heals us by reminding us that we are in fact nature too. And organically the soul gets to experience the rightness of life from the soul within us. And through and with the natural sacred technology, we get to be free again. And so in this freedom, I think just really just take a moment to breathe in the freedom of your soul and to recognize what it means to be the soul as we move on into the times ahead, into the world ahead of us. And I think that this field will be very powerfully charged now that we've done this together. So I just want to say thank you, and I'm going to pass this over to beautiful Sister Gayatri.
Thank you so much, Paul. Gosh, I am so struck by the whole package of what you've done and what I felt as though I was in the lap of Mother Nature. And the soul's connection to nature is something that is so wonderful if we could just take the time to experience it. And you have done that for us this evening. So thank you, Paul, for guiding us through what seemed like a timeless journey and for taking the time of explaining to us this concept of sacred technology. You invited us into a space and you asked us to hold that space for conscience. And then you spoke to us about the choice when we look at conscience within that sacred silence. We are able to choose, we are able to make the right choices. You told us to reach out and stretch ourselves to do what is right, as Maya Angelou advised you at such a very vulnerable time in your life when you lost your father. You were standing at the tip of the Bermuda Triangle, but in so doing, you connected us to this concept of sacred technology in terms of the Holy Trinity, because you kept bringing us back into the presence of the beloved, a beloved that through whom we were created, through whom we are being sustained, and through whom we are being transformed. And then you asked us to repeat that there's a place in my soul where I have never been wounded. And I see that space as a sacred little solitude spot that I reserved only for God whenever we would meet again. If I got separated from him, that space is the space that makes me feel that we will meet again. And then, of course, you embraced us with the fragrance of those freesias and the taste of the locusts. God, you could taste it. And then you reminded us that the universe will always love us because we are made of love. And then, of course, God, it feels so good to be alive. That crane felt so good to be alive. That tortoise felt so good to be alive. So thank you, Paul. Please thank Corey for being part of the video. And also please thank that crane for being with us throughout the whole journey, that beautiful, elegant crane. Thank you all for coming here this evening and being with us and reflecting with us. And remember to save the date for next month's reflection, which will be on Tuesday, May 23rd. And again, it's going to be another beautiful session. It's going to be on healing self-awareness with Dennis Liso. And Dennis is a member of the International Day of Yoga Committee at the UN. And so in closing, Paul, we can't get enough of you, it seems. And so I'll invite you back on to share some closing inspirations with us.
Beautiful. So to end this beautiful, gorgeous collectiveness together, I wanted to share something very special. And I think I've been very intrigued by the color of the ocean in the last few years with my travels, and then coming back to Bermuda. And I love this poem because it talks about a blue that's in this. So I chose this beautiful poem by John O'Donoghue from the book Enum Cara, and it's a beautiful, I think, blessing, really. So just take these words in and drink them in with your heart and your soul. On the day when the weight deadens on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance you. And when your eyes freeze behind the gray window and the ghost of loss gets into you, may a flock of colors, indigo, red, green, and azure blue, come to awaken in you a meadow of delight. When the canvas frays and the carrack of thought and a stain of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. And may the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life. And thank you, everyone, for just being here. And I so honor you for your soul, and I thank you for your presence today. And so, the last thing here is just may our soul's inner loving, peaceful voice be strong to manifest rightness in our behaviors. And thank you again, and a beautiful good night wish to you.